SAfm, South Africa's news and information leader.
In the news, PMI declines in June and Somali government forces rescue 4 foreign aid workers. Good afternoon, I'm Asanda Matsaonyani. The country's seasonally adjusted Purchasing Managers Index, which is a key measure of manufacturing activity, declined by 5.4 index points in June. At 48.2 from the 53.6 seen in May, the index is currently at its lowest level since August 2011. This moderation in manufacturing production has dampened the outlook for overall GDP growth in the second quarter of 2012. Senior economist at NKC Independent Economists, Christy Viljoen, says this is not good news.
These numbers tell us that after a relatively good period for the factory sector in April and May, the manufacturing sector maybe ended off the second quarter on a weaker footing. Well, it's definitely not good news when you consider that the manufacturing sector is one of the largest in the economy and also a very big employer. So negative numbers for June implies that we have a weaker view on employment in the secondary sector and obviously the overall performance of the economy. So there isn't really very much good news to find in the headline number.
DA supporters and members have marched to submit a memorandum to the Education Department in Limpopo against the non-delivery of textbooks in the province. The march was led by provincial leaders Jacques Small and Desiree van der Walt. Van der Walt explains.
We are here because many schools, at least 129 in the province, most affected are the primary schools grades 1, 2 and 3, have not received their CAPS curriculum books by the second cut-off date. Books are 7 months late and those books aren't at schools for various reasons. We demand that next year's curriculum books be ordered and be at schools by November this year so that everybody can return at the opening day of school next year and get their textbooks so the teachers can be in class teachings and learners can be taught.
Meanwhile, Limpopo police are investigating the circumstances that led to over 600 grade 3 and 8 textbooks being dumped at Nsami Dam outside Giyani in Limpopo. This while delivery vans are leaving the provincial education warehouse to the province's over 4,000 schools to make deliveries. Police spokesperson Ronald Otto.
At this stage, we can confirm that there were 2 separate incidents where school books were found to dump next to the road in the Giyani area. At this stage, we do not know where the books are coming from or who dumped them next to the road. The books were taken to the police station for safekeeping and we're still investigating the incident. It is approximately 600 books in numeracy and statistics for grade 3 and grade 8.
Head of Goldfields Mining Company in South Africa, Peter Turner, says safety is their top priority and they are less concerned about the financial implications involved in closing down the mine. This after the Driefontein gold mine was closed until further notice due to the death of 5 mine workers on Saturday. Turner elaborates.
At this point in time, we at the Arona 4 shaft at Driefontein, we're still fighting the fire underground. We have product teams mobilized. We've not yet located the fire, but product teams are deployed underground to ensure that we do get it under control. We're obviously making sure, not taking any chances. Safety is our first priority. In a business like this, your safety is your first priority. There's no price to safety.
The South African Revenue Services says there is no more excuses for taxpayers not to submit their annual tax returns. SARS launched the 2012 tax season for individuals today. For the first time this year, smartphone and YouTube will be used to assist in filing returns. Opa Magashula is SARS Commissioner.
We have simplified the tax code, we have simplified the form, we have made it easy, we have made it accessible, we have re-engineered our whole contact center, and this is to make it sure that any person in the street in South Africa can be good at tax, to remove the excuses that most people use when they have failed to fulfill their obligations. And one of those excuses is to say, look, this is too complicated, it's too difficult to make. I need a professional. You actually, if you have a very simple tax return, you should be able to do these things alone.
In other parts of the continent, Somali government forces say they've rescued 4 foreign aid workers seized by gunmen from a refugee camp in neighboring Kenya 3 days ago. The hostages, who work for the Norwegian Refugee Council, were freed after a brief gun battle on the Somali-Kenyan border.